The two of them are two of a kind. I see them so similar and so well matched. They clicked from the start. I mean, the first time he brought her around to the house and we had dinner, you know, it was like there was nobody else but her.
Now, ever since the kids were little, I told them if they get a tattoo, they're out of the family and they're out of the will. Even if they're 55 when they got it. To my horror, they're carved into my innocent little angel's foot is some alien screed. She says, it's Greek. So Jess, what's it say, I ask? She replies, protect those who are without strength. Every day, when they tell me I'm not good enough to become a veterinarian, I look down at my foot, I read those words, and I go out to prove them wrong. Phyllis went into premature labor. They had to stop that from happening. So now it's like, what are we gonna do? We gotta get this kid to ripen because she keeps trying to come out. So we're really, really nervous because you got it kind of right at the edge where she's gonna make it or not. This little banshee comes out screaming at the top of her lungs. It was the most wonderful day of my life, that she lived and she was gonna take off. She's had the most angelic voice ever since that time. And so there was music always around, and it was just wonderful hearing that voice from God. And it was like, God blessed me to have her make it and survive.
I actually met Chris a couple years back during our first week of our first year of med school. And ever since the beginning, Chris has truly been someone I could count on for pretty much anything. He's been the life of a party, a source of invaluable advice, honestly a stand-in big brother when I need one, more often than I'd like to admit, and that's why he's such a great guy.
I'm happy that he has someone. He's at medical school right now, and his first 2 years were very hard because he was up there by himself. And now Jess is here, and it will make his life much easier, and it will make my life easier knowing that he has somebody to take care of him.
We went in Center City, Philadelphia for dinner. He just said, Dad, I've got this girl I want you to meet. And since I never met anybody else, I figured it was kind of serious. And we met her, and we were impressed. She was nice, pleasant. Obviously, they liked each other. So I thought, well, let's just let nature take its course and see what happens, But
if you could come a little closer.
I think he sees like a soulmate. I mean, they're both got their own little idiosyncrasies, but they complement each other.
Mittens in the drawers. It's a beautiful day.
That's what it's about, finding your mate. So I think they look like a match made in heaven, as they say.
It's a beautiful day to be with you.
I just wanted to say, Jess, welcome to the family. We love you. We're so happy you're here, you're on board, you're part of us now. I've known Chris a long time. He's always been a really unique and special kid. He's got a special place in my heart, and I'm so glad that he found you to share the rest of his days with.
Outside it feels like rain.
When we see Chris, it's just sort of like, this is the home run. She finally got what we wanted. All those guys that came before were not it. I mean, he's smart, he's witty, he's doing what we're doing, he's doing what she's doing. And with Phyllis and me being both in medicine, we can understand what each of us was going through. When one's down, the other's up, and we're helping each other, and that's going to be really great for them. So it's like, this is perfect. I was just, you lose him, God, you're out. You are out, he is here.
It's a beautiful day to be with you.
When she graduated from vet school, Chris had a piece of art commissioned for her, and it showed Jess with all of her pets in a stunning, whimsical theme that was very Jess. He knew that each of these animals was a part of her family and how much they meant to her. Before we raise the glass and cheers to the happy couple, I just want to say, Jess, I love you, and I'm so happy for you and Chris, and I cannot wait to see you two grow together. Now please join me and raise the glass. I wish you both the best, a lifetime of happiness together with many cats and maybe a dog one day.
Maybe.
Cheers.
with you.
She made complete sentences when she was about 18 months. She loved to read. She was very good in school. She always got good marks. She always loved animals. I mean, she never had any baby dolls. I would bring in like Barbie dolls and then baby dolls, and she'd be like, nah, I don't want that. So I have an entire like attic full of like stuffed animals. I have bags and bags, clear bags of stuffed animals. So then we started getting cats, and we thought, oh, this is kind of good for the kids because we really don't have time for dogs or whatever. And by this point, like 9 years old maybe, and our veterinarian, who's still our veterinarian, is like, maybe someday you'll be a veterinarian. Well, that's what she is now.
Chris always had a fascination for building things or taking things apart. He would be off in the corner when the other kids were at the house playing. He would be building Connects or Legos. He'd spend the entire day just building Connects. Chris started out his career in architecture, and he soon decided that that was not his forte, so he went into graphic design, which he was great. He's an artistic type of guy. He would love to draw. He, loved to do anything that had to do with his hands. So he came to us and had a 3-year plan after the graphic design was not working out, and he ended up in medical school. And we are so proud of him, and I certainly see that's a fit for him. Well, he's a good catch. He's a great guy, and I'm his mother, so I have to say that. He's caring, and I just see it the way that they interact with one another. I mean, he'd do anything for Jess.
She's this beautiful woman. I mean, it's just like spectacular how she is and how smart she is and what she grew into. And, when you sit there and you go, I hope all my values kind of wore off in her, and if she could just pick up a little bit of what I'm trying to tell her. And she picked it all up. It's the greatest thing there ever was. Here's Jenny. Oh my gosh. 20 years of screaming little one.
Just let me know when you tap, because I can't tell if it's a raindrop or actually you're tapping. You look very pretty. Don't cry, please. Oh, your makeup's gonna get ruined.
The best of luck to both of you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you have a good, healthy life together and not too many distractions. There will be some, but just keep a stiff upper lip.
Jess and Chris, I wish you the best in life, a long, healthy marriage, and if you need us, we're here.
We were really worried about this rain coming through.
Are you gonna call me in the morning?
And you're looking at the weather thing, and it's like, the 2 hours we need to be outside for these pictures, it's just not gonna work. And I was down one day, and then Phyllis brings me back, and then all of a sudden we get here. And before we came in, the head guy that sets a place up here for the farm says, you guys are so lucky it's raining. I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? He goes, this place is so intimate. When you see what it's going to look like when you get in there, and it is that intimate, he goes, it is amazing. We love it when we do it in here. He was absolutely right.
I can barely make ends meet. I can't take care.
It was so spectacular because I'm right up there and I felt I'm part of them. And he's so wonderful and his family's wonderful. And I was like, we are bonding House Sullivan and House Nord here. And that's a really good feeling.
We're gathered here today in the sight of God to join together this man and woman in holy matrimony. Today they are entering into a covenant that is being established between them and God. It's commended in the scriptures to be honorable among all, and therefore should not be entered into lightly or unadvisedly, but rather reverently, discreetly, advisedly, and in the fear of the Lord. Into this holy estate, Chris and Jess come now to be joined forever. Christopher Sullivan, do you take Jessica Nord to be your wife, to live together in the holy bond of matrimony? Will you promise to love her and comfort her, honor her and keep her in sickness and in health, in the good times and the rough times, and forsaking all other, keep yourself only unto her, so long as you both shall live? If so, please answer, I will.
I will.
And Jessica Nord, do you take Christopher Sullivan to be your husband, to live together in the holy bond of matrimony? Will you promise to love him and comfort him, to honor him and keep him in sickness and in health, in the good times and the rough times, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him, so long as you both shall live? If so, please answer, I will.
Never been a Memphis, but I swear I will someday.
It's truly a blessing for two people to find one another and love so deeply that they embrace the holy bond of matrimony.
Chasing shadow, praying that it waits, and I'm just being honest.
And that's why we're here today, to celebrate and to witness Jess and Chris's commitment to themselves, to each other, and to their families, and to this union that God has established.
Seeing its shadow.
Although it is their day, it's also a tribute to each of you, who they choose to call friends and family. Because each of you, and knowing you, has helped make them who they are today. Each of you holds a very special place in their hearts.
When I think about how I have changed as a person during our time together, it's impossible to overstate the impact you've had on me. Your endless encouragement has caused me to believe in myself and take on challenges I never thought possible. You've been there with me through so many hurdles and challenges, some that I never would have surmounted had it not been for your relentless words of encouragement and compassion. It would take me more than one lifetime to give back to you what you have so generously given me. In the presence of all of our family and friends gathered here today, I want you to know that I will always be there for you in your times of need. And I will never stop trying to push you to your very best. And in the same manner that I always promise to always leave the water running when brushing my teeth, I always promise to love you with all of my heart until the very end.
Chris, over these last 5 years, we have laughed and cried and moved and grown, and we have only just started this journey together. While you've been a close second to the cats when it comes to my favorite mammals, I think today pushes your ranking to number 1, but only by a whisker. Christopher, you are my best friend, my rock, my everything, and I am ecstatic to show you and the world how much I love you. Your partner in memes eternal, Jess.
Jess, I give you this sign of my love.
Knowing that love is precious and fragile yet strong.
Knowing that love is precious and fragile yet strong.
It is an ever-presence.
He's going to support her in all of her endeavors. I can see that right now. It's not going to be like he's the man in charge of the house or anything, and she's going to support him, and she has. For everything he's brought to her, she has definitely insisted that he express his emotions and just express himself in various different ways. And I think it was her that actually encouraged him to move on to the medical field, and we're just very proud of him. We're proud of both of them for what they've accomplished, and I think it's going to be great what they do.
Stay.
I give you this ring as I give you my love.
I give you this ring as I give you my love.
As much as you have consented together in holy matrimony, and I witness the same before God and these witnesses. By joining hands and exchanging rings and declaring your vows, By the power vested in me by God, I now pronounce you your husband and wife in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, whom God has joined together. Let no man tear apart. So, Chris, you may kiss your wife.
Being that I met Chris in med school, he and Jess had already been going out for a little while, so I'd only met Jess a handful of times before the proposal. So at the time, I didn't have a true sense of how perfect they really are for each other. In fact, it wasn't until a couple months later, Chris was telling me about menu tastings they were doing. And he said, quote unquote, I'm going for a Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth style menu for the wedding. And I just had to stop right there. I'm like, Chris, wait a minute. Jess is letting you get away with a Lord of the Rings type wedding? And Chris just smiles at me and he's like, dude, it was her idea. That's when I knew. That's when I knew. Look.
Nicole, I'm gonna pull a Donald Trump and keep it for myself.
I couldn't even. What did you say?
I whispered in your ear.
I don't even know what word you said. I can't.
Another one.
I don't know. Find something else.
Hot dog.